friends. Long time no video, but the channel is coming back up. This is it. This is the last week before I graduate. This is the last week before finals, and I'm just warming up the channel for all the stuff that's going to be coming. I've got so much stuff to show you guys, from growing things, from permaculture, to some political conversations, to conservation, to talking about scaling up permaculture from 1 acre to really big, which is the next big project that I'm going to be working on, and I'm going to take this channel and all of you along with me on that. Starting next weekend, I'm going to be, we are going to be starting to look for new properties. The goal is going to be to get anywhere from 100 to 500 acres, to set half of it, or more than half of it, actually a lot more than half of it, depending on the size. We'll see what happens. Setting it as native forest, and then the other part is going to be turned into agroforestry. We're going to scale up the permaculture level, and then eventually making the land into a land trust that is legally bound, so that whoever takes over the land cannot alter its composition. And this is a small way that we can, as citizens, enact conservation. And it's a really important way if you have the resources. If not, get together with other people and do this. And I'm going to talk a lot more about that later, obviously. So we're going to start that process. I'm going to give you some huge updates on the project at the house. We are definitely ahead of schedule from where we had goals to be at, which is awesome. This year's gone well. We've done tons of things that I'm going to do videos on that I haven't had time to do videos on. We're about a year ahead of where I anticipated being, which is great. I gave myself 5 years to have a complete setup and to be in production. Next year will be year 4, and we should be done by the end of next year. And then it's just about maintenance and maturing the infrastructure. So that's awesome. So talking about a quick update about where I'm at in my process of bringing animal products back in, and my health and everything. Most people are really supportive. Some people are jerks. That's to be expected. But the reality is that I've spent a good portion of my life attempting to be 100% plant-based, and I have run into ongoing problems despite my education, my best and sincerest efforts, and people want to know what's going on with that. And I think that I represent the lion's share of people who attempt plant-based diets. Most people do plant-based diets do not do well long-term. They do well normally for the first couple of years, and it can be a really, really successful and useful tool for healing people who are coming off of processed standard American diets that relies heavily on industrial agriculture. So it's been about 6 months now. I'm feeling amazing. I'm having amazing results in the gym. And yeah, I'm just really starting to thrive again. And the difference is that I'm not really on a diet now. I'm eating homegrown foods, which are the best, most nutritionally dense foods you can get, and the best for the environment. I am supporting some local organic and ecosystem-based farmers who do produce animal products, and they're really my focus of support. And as we scale up our size of permaculture, we will be producing our own animal products. I do not agree with industrial animal husbandry in any way, any more than I agree with industrial plant-based farming. I think both are wrong. I think they go against ecosystem dynamics, and I think they are the focal point of what is destroying our planet and our ecosystems everywhere. I can't wait to do more videos about this. I've learned a lot that I haven't had time to share with you. So I got some blood work back last quarter. It was about 12 to 14 weeks after I brought animal products back in. And if you don't know, your blood cell counts really turn over somewhere in the 12 to 16 week window, depending on you individually. And so somewhere around 12 to 14 weeks, I got blood work done. My blood work came back and showed that I had very low blood cell count. I was borderline anemic, and this confirmed my suspicions that the nosebleeds were linked to some anemic problems. So it was actually a good thing that I did bring some animal products back in. Last year in the summer, I got blood work done, and my blood work at that time showed that I had high cholesterol. And I didn't really do a video about it because I didn't have time to really consider what was going on. I should have recognized it for the canary in the coal mine, that I just wasn't at a high physiological functioning. I had really high triglycerides, and I had had problems with my triglycerides with eating a high fruit diet anyhow, as a lot of people do. This is common. This is not unusual. And I think it's more common in people who are a little older, like middle-aged, older, and can just have a reflection on age and or genetics, your body's capacity to process high sugar. Now, I come from a Northern European stock where sugars have not been a part of the diet for a really long time, and that probably has something to do with it. However, a lot of Northern European, they've shown through genetic research, have many more genes associated with processing and digesting fat. So some of the blanket terms that are used in the high carb diet rhetoric actually don't hold biologically, and I'm going to talk more about that as well. So this blood work, which is what I wanted to talk about and bring it back to, even though I had been eating animal products, my cholesterol and triglycerides dropped way down, and dropped, in fact, almost 40 points. And if you know in the terms of cholesterol, that is a poop ton. So my doctor was very pleased to see that. It took me about 5 months to eradicate the nosebleeds completely. Even though the majority of them went away, I was still getting some intermittent ones here and there for about 5 months. So it really took me some time to get my body back under me, and that's to be expected. I didn't get away from me overnight. So a lot of changes in health they're not fast, and that's the whole thing that's really dangerous about people being 6 months vegan and think that they found all the answers. It takes time for a body to get dysfunctional. We have a lot of stores, and we have a lot of mechanisms that are sort of backups, and it can take as many as, a lot of people don't recognize that they're dysfunctional for anywhere from 3 to 7 years on strict plant-based diets. So I'm doing better. I feel like I'm on the up and up. My lifting's going up. My resilience is going up. I accredited a lot of the exhaustion and just total fatigue that I felt to my focus and dedication to research and school. But I'm doing the same thing now. I'm under the same stress. And a lot of people are like, well, maybe you're just stressed. Well, that hasn't changed. And so you would anticipate that if my diet changed along with the same environment standards, that my results physically would not change, and that has not been the case. I'm much more resilient. I can deal with less sleep better. I'm recovering faster, and I just overall feel, like I said, more resilient. I don't have afternoon drops and dips. I just feel stable throughout the day, and yeah, I feel better. I'm not getting cold sores. My hormones are stable. My energy is stable, all of these things that you would anticipate. And I just feel less old. I thought I was aging really fast. And I just thought, I'm in my mid-40s, I'm just aging fast. But I feel young again. I feel really young again. I feel like I did in my early 30s. So what I've come through to find at the end of all of this is that all of the past 10 years of dieting experiment, from like paleo to low glycemic to fruitarian to vegan, has all come to one conclusion: that diets where you greatly restrict one thing or another, other than processed chemical laden food, all end up in long-term problems. You get some initial reaction from your body that can be really good, And I think that, it could be good to train for an A race if you are really super competitive triathlete or something like that, that you could go through some phase where you're like really high carb, really high fruit for that race. But I don't think that it's a good year-round diet for the reason that most people show big signs of wearing down over long term. I think it's worth the experiment. There are very few people, very like less than 0.03% of the people who try it do well long term. If you're one of those people, awesome. But I think I want to do some videos on recognizing the warning signs of when you're not thriving. So that said, welcome back to the videos. Welcome back to the channel. So excited for the upcoming content. A lot of people have written with more health questions with their teeth, and so more videos. Wait for it. If you have exact questions you want to see addressed in upcoming videos, let me know. Comments, questions, like, dislike. Welcome back. See you later.